Hi there and welcome in the first lesson of Module 4. In this lesson, we will focus on the setup of your personal sustainable procurement strategy. We'll go over it step by step. Writing a sustainable procurement strategy may sound like a big task, but if you have everything that is needed, then you should have no problems writing and building it. It is important to list down your goals, tactics to be used, data that was collected, and all other information that is needed. This will help you wrap up all the preparation work you've been doing. Just like in the other lessons, we will provide you with templates to help you out. Your sustainable procurement strategy outlines the step you should take to ensure that your project has the greatest possible outcome. Your strategy should at least include the following: key findings about sustainability risks and opportunities, needs and the supply market, the actions required to manage key sustainability risks, the recommended demand-related approach, how your sourcing approach delivers sustainability objectives, how sustainability requirements are incorporated into your specification, including any go and no-go decisions, the importance of sustainability in your evaluation criteria, carefully balancing it with other factors like cost or quality, and the anticipated sustainability benefits, such as savings over the course of your project. The effects of the sustainability approach on your project schedule and budget, and that's it. In doing this, we will leave the studio for a moment because it's easier to explain how to work on filling your templates via sharing my screen. Hi there and welcome back. This is Marijn again. Of course, you won't see me at the moment, but I hope you recognize my voice by now. In the following slides, I'm going to guide you through the setup of your sustainable procurement strategy. In Module 2, you have been working on analyzing and/or creating your sustainable procurement policy. One of the most important parts of that module was the creation of sustainable policy goals. Now we will help you to manifest them into clear and actionable targets. To create a clear sustainable procurement strategy, it is important to understand the various tactics that can be used. We hope you enjoyed learning that in Module 3. Now I'm going to show you the templates, I will explain them, and we will link them with what you have been doing earlier in this course. All to make your life easier and come towards a great sustainable procurement strategy. Let's start. There are 8 questions that are important to answer to come to a great sustainable procurement strategy. Number 1 is, what is the link between my company strategy and my sustainable procurement strategy? Number 2, what is the most important input from my stakeholders regarding my strategy? Number 3, what are the most important groups and suppliers I want to focus on? Number 4, which actions are required to manage my key sustainability risks? Number 5, which topics of the 10R strategy am I implementing in my portfolio to achieve my targets? Number 6, how do I translate my policy goals toward strategy targets? And of course, number 7, which targets do I want to achieve in the following year and which one later in time? Brings us to question number 8. What is the impact of my sustainability approach on my project plan and budget? So let's start with slide number 1, which will help you to create your sustainable procurement strategy. How to link your company strategy and your sustainable procurement strategy. So what you do here is like you did in the policy, is check what are my company sustainability goals. Then what are the procurement department's sustainability goals? And then number 3, what is the impact of that for my own personal procurement strategy? So for example, if you take into account the company Unilever, for Unilever it's a target to become more sustainable and to use less plastic. A clear goal for the procurement department can be that they want to reduce, let's say, the use of plastic with like 30% by 2025. And then if you will be the sourcing manager for the André Lon brand, the shampoo brand, it will be your goal to find suppliers that can contribute towards achieving that goal. So here you can list down the top 3 important goals for your company. Think of what are those for my procurement department team, and then of course what are those for me personally. That brings us to number 2, the most important, stakeholder input. Continuing on your earlier work, it's time to involve stakeholders again. Here again, it's important. What are important variables that your manager thinks you should include in your sustainable procurement strategy? And on top of that, for example, who are other people that will be involved? For like example, procurement director. So here you enter the description, here the stakeholders, what is the role in the process and the stage in the process that they will be involved. And here you think about, okay, just before you set your own clear targets, what is input from others that is important to formulate my goals. Then, number 3, what are the most important groups and suppliers I want to focus on? This is just a reference slide. You already worked on this in lesson 2.5, so it should be all clear, but it's very important to include in your sustainable procurement strategy because this will help you in prioritizing. Then, number 4, which actions are required to manage my key sustainability risks? Here again, we have asked you to do this in lesson 2.6, so you already have this. This will give you the basics of which tactics to use or choose in your sustainable procurement strategy later. Then, number 5. Which of the 10R strategy tactics are important to include in your sustainable procurement strategy? This is also one that you have been working on in lesson 1.2, but this is just as a wrap-up and because you will use this in 3 slides. That brings us to question number 6. How do I translate my policy goals towards clear strategy targets? Here is just finish what you already have been doing in 2.9 with the feedback from the internal stakeholders. So this is the example of sustainability goal which you have included in your policy. So for example, reduce energy, but these can be of course different variables to import. Then you link them towards your own specific targets. Why do you do this? Is because you want to have one clear overview of what am I going to achieve as a procurement manager in, for example, 2024, 2025 or 2026 in one clear slide. And the next slide is an explanation of the setup of that clear slide, but slide number 10 will be the very important one to work on. So here is the sneak preview of the slides, but first I will explain them because you have to work on either groups or suppliers, and I will explain that here now. So to work on your sustainable strategy action plan, here's the template explanation. To determine your groups on the left side, ask yourself what is a logical clustering. So for example, when you are the procurement manager of, for example, beer, you could choose 4 different levels to cluster your groups. For example, level number 1 could be products. So for example, beer in a can, specialty beer in a bottle, etc. Level 2 is product group, Pilsner, Lager, Saison, Triple, Mexican. Level 3 could be brands and level 4 could be suppliers. But in the end, as a final result, in your actionable, sustainable procurement strategy, this is the most important slide. And this is where you see the groups on the left side. And here you note down some very important things. Number 1, what is the action that I want to take with the tactic that I'm implementing in this group or in this brand or in this section? What is the desired result? What is my deadline? And then we make the link to everything that you have been learning. So what are the environmental benefits of my tactics? What are the social benefits? What are the economic benefits? And of course, their saving potential. And with which SDG are they linked? You can work on as group 1, group 2, and of course we have been copying the slide, so you also have group 3 and group 4. I'm going a bit fast here, but if you have any more questions, always feel free to reach out to us via email or via LinkedIn to help you out. And of course, in the rest of this module, we'll guide you through all the important steps that you should take to finalize these slides. Then, of course, if you have thought of what to do, it's important, and that brings us to the final slide. What is my plan and my timings of my strategy? So, for example, what would I like to implement this year and what would I like to do later? What do I want to do now and what is the impact positively or negatively on the financial results? Do I need help from any team members, yes or no? And what are assumptions that I'm having at the moment? Of course, it is important to track everything that you want to achieve every quarter and not only after a year. Okay, I hope it is clear now how to work on your strategy. The rest of this module, as I just been telling you, will help you even further, but I wanted to give you this overview now already. That's it for the recording behind the screen. See you back in the studio. And we're back. So, there you have it. All the essentials to build your personal sustainable procurement strategy. In this lesson, you learn everything to create it. See you in the next lesson.